want to share with you guys just kind of what I do when I walk through my About Me page and kind of goals page, and then kind of give some reasonings as to why I share the things that I do. So most of this format and layout, there's a lot of different ways you can format your About Me page and goals page. This I actually took from field training with Lindley, and so I kind of stole some of her design on this and then kind of tweaked it a little bit. But there's a million and one ways to do an About Me page and goals page, and so really try to really format it around who you are and just be purposeful with it. I think one of the greatest things with sharing kind of about yourself to Mrs. Jones is Mrs. Jones loves to see purposeful college students. Like I've had several demos where after going through my goals and kind of the About Me page, Mrs. Jones was like, I really love hearing you share that. She's like, I've got a son who's about your age, who's currently sitting on the couch, not doing much for the summer. And so it's really cool to like be a college student and like have purpose. I think that's one of the main things that you're really trying to get across to Mrs. Jones is show that like you care about yourself, you care about your future, you care about where you're headed, and you want to have fun with that and share that with Mrs. Jones. And they love being able to hear college students who are on track, who are purposeful in what they do, and have goals in mind. So just starting off, I usually just kind of share a little bit about kind of who I am, kind of where I'm at with school. So currently a sophomore at Grand Canyon University, studying mechanical engineering technology. A lot of people don't know this, but I do come from a really big family. So I've got 11 siblings. So I love being able to share that. So just kind of sharing a fun fact, either about yourself or about your family. And then just have fun with it. So one of the things I love to do, this is a wedding picture from my oldest brother. He got married this last August. I've got another brother who's getting married this August. And the brother right above me is just bought a ring, is planning on getting engaged this fall. And so everyone's like, okay, Micah, you're next. But I'm still as single as like a Pringle. So just being able to like have fun and share jokes like that on the About Me page and goals page just really helps keep the mood light. But also like share about yourselves, share the fun stuff going on in your life. So this is a really cool picture. And, one of the other things I usually share with Mr. and Mrs. Jones is like, it's really cool having these pictures, like coming from a big family. A bunch of my older siblings now are married and we don't get together a whole lot anymore. And so it's fun having these pictures and memories of, all of us together. So yeah, just like sharing stuff like that, just sharing stuff that like you care about your family, about yourself, who you are, and just be purposeful with it and have fun. The next thing that I love to share on the About Me page is just what I love to do. So whether it's like hobbies, whether it's fitness, whether it's like food that you love, like whatever it is that you like absolutely love. So for me, it's building stuff. I love being hands-on. I'm going to school for engineering. And so I usually share with Mrs. Jones just some of the projects that I've worked on. So I've got a robotic hand here that I usually talk about. It's one of the first projects I did while I was at school. Got to learn all about 3D printing and circuitry. I got to put together this breadboard and wire up the circuit for the hand. Just absolutely love that stuff. Love being hands-on, love being detail-oriented. These are also just a couple DIY projects that I've done. So I built some lightsabers for my younger siblings for this past Christmas. Here's like a Thor's hammer that I've built out of wood and metal in a workshop that I have. So just like sharing with Mrs. Jones just things that you absolutely love and care about. And honestly, one of the things I've learned with Cutco is the more conviction you have towards something, the easier it is to share it. So even when you're talking about Cutco, the more that you have used Cutco, the more that you've enjoyed the product, the easier it is to share and talk about it. And so sharing stuff with Mrs. Jones that like you actually care about and love to do, love to use, love to be around, it's super easy to talk about it. And so sharing with Mrs. Jones, either like hobbies, anything that you're passionate about. And then what I do with that is I kind of allow that to funnel into basically my career, what I want to do as a career. I want to share how the things I love doing and love working on, I want to use in the field that I want to go into. And so for me, I want to combine engineering with the arts. And so I've got two pictures here of some different like set designs for a theatrical play. I'm sure many of you guys have seen Hamilton. And then this one is for The Mandalorian. So one theatrical, one movie, TV show related. So basically for me, what I want to do is be able to combine engineering with the arts through some sort of set design, technical theater. But my dream would be to get into the film industry. And especially now with all the technology that's ramping up, that they're using in the film industry, they're needing a lot more engineers in that. And so I love being able to share like, okay, this is what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about building stuff, and I want to be able to use that as a career and be purposeful in that. And so a lot of ways, and like not every career that people plan to do they're super passionate about. Sometimes they pick a career that's going to pay for them to be able to do the things that they're passionate about. But just trying to find that connection between the things that you're passionate about and the career that you want to get into, I think is super important. And Mrs. Jones loves to see that. And then oftentimes I kind of end my about me page with the goals for the company. And it kind of works as a great transition into the actual demo. Is it's like, okay, I've spelled all this out. I've shared, who I am, where I'm going to school, what I love to do, where I'm headed. But then it's like, okay, why am I working for Cutco? And so that tying that all back around into, okay, why are we doing this demo? And there's kind of three main things I want to hit on when I do that. The first one is the communication skills. And so each of you, we're all different. We're all going to have different reasons for why we're working here. But the three for me is, the first one is communication skills. And so especially coming from a big family, like I was homeschooled, and now getting an engineering degree, there's all sorts of baggage with that of just like not being good at communication, not being a good people person, having those communication skills. And so one of the reasons I'm working here is to build my communication skills. Being able to put on a resume that I talked to over 100 people in one summer just looks really good. It's going to help set me apart from other engineering students out there who don't necessarily have those person-to-person skills. So number one is communication skills. Number two for me is just building a resume. So like I've already hit my President's Club letter, wanting to hit potentially some other goals and, scholarships and things like that. So just like super excited about those opportunities for resume building and whatnot. And the third one is I'm trying to do some internships over the next couple summers. And some of the internships I'm looking into don't really pay well. And so one of the reasons working for Cutco is to be able to save up some income to be able to do those internships and kind of get me through those years where maybe I'm not making as much money. So just trying to like share your hobbies, share, where you're going with it as a career, and then find a way to bring that back to Cutco. And just, again, like main thing is to have a purpose for everything that you do, have a purpose for who you are, where you want to be, where you're going. And Mrs. Jones, they'd love to hear that as college students. So just be excited about who you are, what you're planning on doing, and how you're either utilizing Cutco to get to that next level or utilizing Cutco as that stepping point to get where you want to be in a different career. And then, these are just some goals that I have within Cutco. So recommendations, demos, and then sales, I'll usually briefly touch on at the end of the About Me page. So that's kind of what I have there. Again, be purposeful with it, have fun with Mrs. Jones, and show that you have a purpose for your future, that you care for who you are and you enjoy being yourself. So that's what I've got.
Nice. Let's get some takeaways. What did you guys notice? What did you guys see? What did you hear? What can you implement into yours? Mr. Gray with the hand raises from Lindley are just rubbing off on everybody.
Lindley's the one I learned from, so everything she does, I just mimic it. One thing I really like is when Micah said that Mr. Jones loves to see like a passionate college student, and it makes a lot of sense because there's this idea of our generation that we're just lazy and all we do is watch TikTok. So when we're able to sit in front of an adult and share our goals and share our passions, it's going to make any adult turn their head and actually start listening and paying attention.
Yeah, it was authentic. Adults are gonna listen. He had energy. It was smooth. It's probably a little bit different every single time, but he's in. Jenny, I don't know if you're unmuted or if my screen just kind of. All right, let's get 2 more shares.
No, I that part of the presentation, to keep from like rambling on about yourself, consolidate it to one page to give somebody a visual, because a lot of people are very visual learners. It's a good start. It tells everybody about you in one page and gives them a good depiction of who you are. So I mean, otherwise you get caught up in talking and you need to focus on moving on with the presentation, so you can focus on the different aspects of it. So anyways.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. If you haven't made one yet, like do that, practice it. If you want some advice or tips from us, don't hesitate to reach out. Cool. So I know I wanted to put Jaquise on for why I want to branch, but it looks